Okay. All right. I don't know what just happened, you guys. YouTube is once again acting a little silly on me. Let me know if y'all can see me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. My streaming software just kind of booted out on me. My streaming software just kind of booted out on me. I made sure my audio was on. I made sure my cell phone was down and everything. But then I went live and I couldn't. It said that YouTube wasn't working correctly. It said that my software wasn't working correctly, and that I would have to go live straight from YouTube. I don't know. Weird, but it's working. You guys can see me. Y'all can hear me. So as long as y'all can hear me, as long as y'all can see me, then we're all good. It does look like I probably went live through YouTube and not through Streamlabs. And usually when that happens, sometimes I'm a little blurry on that end. We're going to pray for the best, all right? We're going to keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen. So we are actually, I don't know if it's going to let me screen share with y'all because I am live from, I'm live from YouTube and not my streaming software. So normally I show you guys pictures as we talk about the recap. I don't know if it's going to let me do that. I'm going to see. I'm going to see if it'll let me. But this episode, you guys, this one was confusing. Like Kody, I don't know what he was doing. Was Kody trying to get sympathy, acting like he cares, and then acting like he doesn't care? This whole episode was wild. But I loved watching Christine in this episode. Okay, I can screen share. You guys can see. So that's awesome. Okay, I loved watching Christine in this episode because she finally put her foot down and kind of asserted her independence over Kody. I don't know if any of the women have ever done that. Normally, I think, when they're doing something and Kody's like, we're going to do it this way, I think the women's just kind of like, okay. They just kind of go along with him. But no, Christine was like, Kody, we are going to do this my way. And that kind of rattled him a little bit. In a confessional, he even said, like, that bothered me to my core. That she wouldn't do things my way. And I'm like, well, you're at her house. You're not her husband anymore. You're just there as someone that kind of is helping her. But then he said it irritated him so much that she wouldn't do what he wanted to do or do it the way that he wanted to do it. He was like, I should just tell her I don't even have to be here. So he was very irritated when she kind of asserted like that independence right there in front of him, or to him. That bothered him. But we're going to do a full recap and we'll talk about the little things that jumped out at me that I enjoyed seeing. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Okay. All right. So this episode starts out. They are Christine is getting like the last little bit of her things before she heads out to Utah to go back home. So that's where we're at. She's packing. She's getting the last, she says it's moving day. So she's getting the last little bit of her things. She's got McKelty there. She's got Tony there. And then she had, Honey Boo Boo's sister, Pumpkin. Pumpkin's husband, Josh. Josh look alike. And I didn't know who this was at first. I was like, wait, who is this guy? Like, who is this other guy that is there helping them move? But someone told me it was Aspen's husband. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't guess I know him that well. I don't know. But apparently the guy that is a Josh Efred lookalike is Aspen's hubby. So they are loading everything up into the rental. Now, as they're loading things up, she finds out that the offer on the house, because the house was in contract, they had someone put in an offer on the house, but it fell through. So the people that was initially going to get the house is no longer going to get the house. So now she's kind of in this place where it was like, okay, so we had someone that was going to buy the house. They had a closing date of like 3 weeks out. I think it was 3 weeks out, she said. But now they're back at square one where nobody, is going to buy the house at this moment. But she says when the real estate agent basically called her to say, hey, that deal fell through, she also called with, but I got a showing this afternoon, so it's fine. Like, that one fell through. That was not going to happen. But we got somebody else that wants to see it. So don't worry too much. So they got to get everything out as much as possible. And then she got to kind of go back through and clean the place up. Because before, she probably wasn't too concerned with, cleaning it that great because she was going to come back the next weekend anyways. She had already sold the house. So it didn't need to be like super clean. But now it's got to be shown again. So they need to clean it. So she's like, we're going to get everything out of the house. The few things that I can't take with me right now, we'll put in the garage. But we got to go back through and we got to kind of tidy everything up since it's going to be shown this afternoon. Throughout the packing, we do see Kody in a confessional, talking about how difficult it is to see basically one of his marriages come to an end. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I feel like I hear when I see Kody talking. Blah, 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 blah. Also talks about how, like, awkward the goodbye was. That, when they went over to tell Christine goodbye, it was kind of awkward. Robin here, also, we see her in a confessional where she says she is heartbroken that Christine doesn't want anything to do with her or her children. So if she sees her in passing, when they are dropping Truly off, picking Truly up, if she sees her in passing, she would just stay out of her way. Christine did let us know that's not exactly what she meant. Basically, for the time being, she just, needs time to kind of get to Utah, get settled, and not have to try to entertain the people that she really wasn't that close with, like Meri, like Robin. Like, give her space for now, and when she gets settled, they could be okay or whatever. But Robin definitely took it as Christine not wanting anything to do with her or her kids. So she says when she sees her in passing, she will just stay out of her way. Christine tells us that Truly, let me back that up just a little bit, that Truly is pretty upset. It's moving day, the last day they're going to be there until next week when they go get the very last of their things. But she tells us that Truly is upset that day. That Truly is kind of having a difficult time. Here we are, we see Truly. And she does look sad. Poor Truly, I feel bad for her. But she says that she knows she is moving Truly to something better. So she's not too concerned about it. She doesn't feel that bad because she knows that she is moving Truly to something better. And that, once they get there, she knows that Truly will be okay. Now, Meri in a confessional. Oh, Mir. There we go. All right, here's Meri in a confessional. I do like Meri's style, though, lately. Like, Meri has a cute style. Like, I'm loving the jacket. I like the little shirt under. I think her necklace says Christine. I don't know why, but it looks like it does. I swear, I was watching the episode and I was like, does her necklace say Christine? I mean, it definitely don't say Meri. That's too long to say Meri. What does her necklace say? I don't know. It probably says LuLaRoe or whatever that company is. But it definitely kind of looked like it said Christine at first. I was like, why is she wearing a necklace that says Christine? So, anyways, Meri in a confessional tells us that news has spread about Christine leaving and social media has been coming at her. She was like, so people starting to find out that Christine is leaving Kody, and now everybody on social media is coming to my page wanting to know why I can't be like Christine, why I can't be independent like Christine, why I can't stand up for myself like Christine, why am I sitting there allowing Kody to, be the way that he is to me, calling Kody every name under the sun to me on my page. So it looks like she's really struggling with that. Looks like it's really taking a toll on her that people are coming at her. But that's the truth, though, Meri. If Christine can leave, why don't you leave, Meri? She then says that Christine has her own value outside of Kody, and she has her own value outside of Kody. So just because, she may be with Kody doesn't mean she's not as important as, say, Christine, who's not with Kody. They both have their own value outside of Kody. But the thing is, if you stay with a man that treats you like this, I do think it changes the way people look at you. Even Gwendolyn said that about her mom. Even Gwendolyn was like, I'm glad my mom is leaving my dad. She was like, actually, seeing my mom stay with my dad all those years made me look at my mom in kind of a negative light. Like she wasn't one that could take up for herself. You know, when she left my dad, it really made me like appreciate her and feel like she was like a strong woman now. But before, I kind of not so much. Now back to Christine's house. I just love Janelle. Janelle shows up with coffee as you do, you know, when your friend's moving and it's early morning hours, you bring some coffee. She brings up coffee for everyone and they toast the new beginnings. But as Christine gives the little toast, she makes sure to like thank everybody for helping her, but she also thanks Janelle. And it was a really nice little um speech about how she's super thankful for Janelle and how Janelle has always been there for her. So, after this is seriously a sad scene because she gives her a hug and she's like, "All right, bye, friend. I'll see you later." She walks out, and when she gets out the door, the producer asks her like, you know, "How are you doing? Are you okay?" And she was like, "That was tough." Janelle literally like she's like, "That was tough." Um, in a confessional, Janelle says that the dynamic may be different because they aren't sister wives anymore, but they are still best friends, and that's not going to change. So as Janelle is leaving, production stops her outside. Janelle breaks down a little bit, says she's okay until she thinks about it. Like she's okay until she thinks about the fact that Christine's not going to be right down the road anymore. She's okay until she thinks about the fact that Christine is not going to be at these family, functions anymore. Christine, according to everyone, Christine was really the one that led the family when it came to celebrations like Thanksgiving. She was the one that like always made the plans and like put everything together. They were usually hosted at her house. She was the one that did these things. And for her not to even be there at these things, it's really going to be a difference for Janelle's life. Janelle um, says that she's okay until she thinks about it. And she says it's not the end, but it is a different chapter. She recognizes how this changes the way her life looks going forward. Oh, hold on. Let me move my face out of the way. So sweet that they care about each other that much. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I love their relationship. I love that. Um, as Christine is walking out of her house, when they finally go to like wrap things up, let's see. Let's see if we can capture it. As Christine is getting the last little bit of the things out of her house right here, the producer asks her, like, how is it? Is everything okay? How you feeling? Yeah, right here. So, producer asks her how she is doing. She says, it's hard to leave. She says, it's hard to leave. It's really hard to leave. Her voice is kind of shaky, tears in her eyes. Um, she says, it's the end of a chapter, and it's hard no matter what. So she walks out and she tells McKelty that she is ready, and this is kind of funny. Look at her, sad. She walks out and she's like, "All right, I'm ready." And McKelty, who is hilarious, I love McKelty. McKelty jokingly yells, "Freedom!" And then she goes, "Oop, I mean adventure." Which is so funny that she's like, "Freedom! Oh, I mean adventure, not freedom." My bad, just kidding. Um, and Christine thought it was kind of funny. They gave each other a hug. because despite, everything, it's going to be tough for her to take off and leave this part of her life behind. Kody in a confessional says that she is moving today. So he says, Christine is moving today. She is leaving. And I feel in a sense that I'm just coping. And I really want to tell her that I loved her. I love you. Why did you betray me? I worked for this. And that's almost pathetic because she's leaving. She's done. And I've got to accept that. But I don't want to because it's just breaking my heart. And I'm like, what? 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 This is the only time I've ever heard him really voice that it's breaking his heart. Other times it's like, I don't care. I don't like her anyways. Like he's mad that she's taking Truly. He's mad that she's breaking up the family dynamic the way that it is, and it messes with their culture. But he's not upset that she don't want to be married to him. This is the first time I think I've heard him say that. Yeah, I try not to play the sound that much because it will give me copyright. So every once in a while I'll play a little snippet of the sound, but most of the time when I'm going through, I'll just show the video. But this clip, I was like, Kody, like, what is your aim here? Why are you all of a sudden saying you love her and you just wanted to tell her you loved her? And I don't know, but to me, saying, hey, hubby, that, I'm not romantically involved with. Hey, hubby, that we haven't had a sexual relationship in a few years. Hey, hubby, that I asked you if we could have a romantic relationship and you said no, you're not attracted to me. Hey, hubby, I'm out. Deuces. Peace. That's not really betrayal, in my opinion. Betrayal would be if you cheated. That's betrayal. If you are cheating on him, lying to him, being straightforward and saying, hey, hubby, are we ever going to have a romantic relationship? No? Okay, then I think I'm out. I just don't think I can do that. That's being pretty straightforward. That's not betrayal. You might not like it. You might not agree with it, but it's not betrayal. It's breaking his heart that he got left. That's what I think too. That's what I think. I don't think it's breaking his heart that he loves her and she is leaving. I think it's breaking his heart that he has no control over the situation. He cannot control Christine right now in this moment or going forward. He has lost control over one of the wives. So that whole thing threw me for a loop. I made a whole video on it because I was like, did this man just say I wanted to tell her I loved her? Where did this come from? So I made a whole video on it. If you guys haven't watched it, go take a look. I put in some little edits that I thought was really funny. So go check that video out. I'll link it in the description box below. As they pull out to leave, Janelle says that any sense of being nervous that she had is gone. And that's what she was hoping for. She was like, I was really hoping that this sense of nervousness that I did have would leave, and it's gone. Like, we're leaving, and it's gone. I don't feel nervous. I'm excited about the future. It then shows clips of her with the family from happier times, and this one is a sad one. I'm not going to lie. This one is pretty sad. Pretty sad. All these clips. They put this little collage together of her with the family, and I was like, oh, it pulls on the heartstrings. Because there were times, she was happy. There were times that she enjoyed being there, obviously. Priscilla says he left her income. She talked to him not only behind his back. He said they have talked about it. Yeah. Yeah. People are waking up the last 3 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So here they are making it in to Utah, and Christine says she finally feels that she is home. She gets to Utah and she does a little tour of her house. They get in kind of late, but she does a little tour of her house. And here's the thing: she has not seen this house. Christine has not laid eyes on this house. McKelty found it for her super quick. McKelty found it, did a walkthrough, was like, "We want it." Called her mom, was like, "Got you a house, mom." It is a rental property, but it is brand new. No one has lived in this property, from my understanding. Um, so this is her first time ever seeing her new house. But they love it. They love it. Even Truly, as she walks through, she loves it. Um, they have a huge laundry room. Truly has a big bedroom and bathroom. Her bathroom has double sinks. So they're very happy with the house. No one's lived in it before, so they're super excited about the house. McKelty did a good job. And Gwendolyn is no longer super sad. She's now super happy to be in her new house. So, alrighty. Oh, one thing that she says that, she's gotten rid of all of her furniture basically. She's like, "I'm basically getting all new furniture. I wanted everything to be like new and just mine. Like I really didn't want anything that was once like mine and Cody's. Like, this is my house. I want my own bedroom suite. I want my own furniture. So everything can just be mine for a little while, anyways." So she throws that for a little while to me, saying, "I want everything to be mine until I find someone that's worth sharing it with." I'm like, "You go, Christine." So, after that, Janelle is pulling up to Christine's house because Janelle lives in the RV and she doesn't have like water at at the RV basically. So she has to walk to the water source on the property with these jugs, like probably one or two at a time. Fill these jugs up and then walk all the way back to the RV. I don't know how long that walk is, but it is kind of a walk according to her. So, since Christine is not living at home and it's not going to be like an interruption into Christine's life, um, Janelle has asked Christine, can she go over there and just fill all her jugs up at once rather than her having to walk through the property to do it and go one or two at a time, right? So she can go to Christine's house and just get them all done. So she's going to Christine's house to do that. And there they are with all their jugs. Now, as they are there, Kody shows up. Not that he went to help. He was actually on his way home and saw that Janelle was at Christine's house. So to get to Robin's house, you have to pass Christine's house. So he was actually just passing, going home, saw that she was there, and was like, "Oh, Janelle's here. Well, let me see what's up," So he pulls in, walks around the back of the house, and he was like, "Hey, I was just passing by. What you up to?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just filling up my water jugs." And he's like, "So the contract on this house fell through, right? Like, the buyer's not buying it at this moment." She said, "Yeah, I did hear that." And he said, "Well, why don't we buy it?" And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want to buy it." And he basically, let me get my notes, make sure I say everything that needs to be said. Kody tells Janelle that he would like to buy Christine's house for her to live in until they can build on Coyote Pass, and then they could rent the property out. So his way of thinking is, so Janelle lives in the RV right now. Every few months, she has to move the RV to a different lot, which costs time and money. She's decided she's actually going to move back into town into an apartment for the wintertime because the winter out at Coyote Pass is going to be really harsh in the RV, especially with her having to do the water thing. And, she has to like dump her sewage and she has to be outside a lot tending to things. So to avoid that, she's decided she's going to go into town and rent an apartment. Kody is not happy with that idea. So he's like, "Well, we could just buy this house. You could live here until we build your house on Coyote Pass. You don't even have to go back into the RV. And then once we build your house on Coyote Pass, you can move into that house and we could rent this house. It becomes an asset." Mind you, Mind you, Kody has previously mentioned never wanting to see the house again, never wanting to even drive by the house again. Because he's just so irritated at Christine. He didn't want to see Christine. He didn't want to see her house. He didn't want to drive by her house. Now he wants to buy the house. Janelle says that she cannot afford to buy Christine's house and a year later get financed to build a house on the property. She's like, I can't do that. Like, there's no way I can buy this house right now and then in a year get financed for the house on the property. We don't have the income. Kody says if Janelle wouldn't have bought the RV, she would be able to buy this house and then still be able to get financed for the house on the property. Ooh. I hid your comment. I'm so sorry. I think I undid it. Oh, I timed you out. Crap. Hold on. Let me fix that. Oh, puppy monkey baby, I accidentally timed you out. I was trying to allow your comment and it timed you out. I can't undo it. I'm so sorry. I'm going to leave that up for the mods to do. My nails get the best of me sometimes. I'm so sorry. Puppy, monkey, baby, I'm so sorry. I was literally just trying to unlock because your message wasn't showing. I needed to approve it. So I was trying to approve it. And it timed you out for 300 seconds. I'm so sorry. So Janelle says, listen, the realtor told us that we would have to rent this house out for like 2 years for that income to be included in their debt to income ratio. So say they were, I guess that they did talk to the realtor potentially about buying this house. Maybe it was something they mentioned. And the realtor was like, listen, if you buy this house, you have to rent this house out 2 years before the bank includes this as an income when you need to get financed to build on the property. So, when you're building a house, buying a house, you have to have so much free income to show that you can afford the note, right? So this could show more income, but they would not even include it for 2 years after someone was renting. There's no way that could happen because Janelle would be the one to live in the house up until they needed to get financed. So they wouldn't even be renting the house out then. So Janelle's like, listen, there's just no way. Janelle wants to start building in 1 year, so they can't buy the house, then be approved for funding for the house she wants to build. Janelle says she wants to start building on the property, but buying this house will put the brakes on her being able to do that for at least 2 years minimum. Janelle tells Kody the amount of money she would have to put down on this house would basically pay off the land. She's like, listen, if we got the money to buy this house, put down for this house to buy it, we could just put it towards the land and pay the land off. The whole reason nobody's able to build right now is because the house isn't paid off. So if we go ahead and take what money you want to put into buying this house, we could pay the land off. Kody responds and says, or we could do both. And I'm like, what? Everybody is saying, Kody, Robin, Meri, they all say later on, we can't afford to pay the land off. We can't afford to pay the land off. We can't afford to pay the land off. But now he's saying, well, if you really wanted to, we would have the money to buy this house and pay the land off. He says something about, if there's a will, there's a way. If you really wanted to, we could do it. And I'm like, then why haven't y'all paid the land off already? So Kody just seems like he wants to be argumentative and wants to be the one that's right, even when it doesn't make sense. In a confessional, Janelle says she is the one that takes care of their finances. She says, I'm the one that takes everything to the accountant for our taxes to be done. So I know what's in the family bank account. I know what's spent out of that bank account. I know who spends what. I know what they spend it on. And she says, what is spent out of that family account on BS, they could have put that towards paying off the land and they could have paid the land off already. She's like, if all the money that's been put towards BS would have been put towards the land will be paid off now. So she's basically saying, there's somebody using money for BS. More than likely Robin for her kids and la da 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 da. I don't see Meri really using money out of the family funds because Meri gets paid from the show. She gets paid from the B&B. So I don't know. I don't feel like I see her really dipping into that too much. I don't feel like Christine really dips into that too much, especially when she made the decision to leave. I feel like she really wanted to make sure she didn't ask for any of the family money, you know? So I think probably more than likely the person spending money on nonsense that could have went towards, the property was probably Robin. Now after that, Robin basically says, like, yes, we have our family account, and like we kind of dip into that account like when need be. But there is no way we've had the money to pay off Coyote Pass because we were too busy paying off Christine's house, taking care of everyone's kids. So we just don't have the extra money right now. We just don't have the extra money to do that. But I'm like, I was pretty sure Janelle said her house in Vegas that she sold, the money from that went into helping them buy Christine's house. That's what I thought Janelle said. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought so. Um, Kody, in a confessional, says that he has never heard Janelle discuss paying off Coyote Pass. And he is willing to put money in that direction, but they just don't have the money to even do it right now. But I'm like, hold up, but 5 seconds ago you said that y'all could buy Christine's house and pay off Coyote Pass. Now you're saying there's not money there to do it. So which is it, Kody? Lord, this guy, I think he forgets what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? I think he forgets it. Yeah, Christine says she's paid every mortgage and every payment on the property too. Exactly. Like while maybe the funds to put down the down payment, closing costs, whatever, maybe that come out of the family account. All the mortgage payments, she said that she's paid that. So after that, Janelle says that she basically feels like Kody wants to buy the house because he's always loved this house. Like even when Christine was leaving, like he did not want Christine to get rid of the house because he just loved the house. So she's like, I really feel like he's wanting to use me and my resources to buy this house because he loves it so much and not even because I need a house. Like he hasn't even been that invested in Janelle having a house. She's like, we've been here 4 years and I still don't have a house. Like when we moved here, I rented a place. Robin's bought a house. That was important for them to buy a house, but I was renting. I got an RV. He complained about it. Kody has never been invested in me buying a house, trying to make sure that I had a home that was mine. He's never cared about it. But now, all of a sudden, that this house has come up, a house that he loves, he wants to use me and my resources, my financial resources, to buy this house. And I'm not doing it. I don't want the house. I don't feel like it's my home. I would not be able to live in this house and actually feel like it's mine. So I don't want the house. Um, she said that if she bought the house, she would be stuck in it for a while, not even feeling like it was really hers because she would be stuck in it. Now she's about to get a little buck with Kody. Let's listen. I am going to play this part because I thought it was kind of funny.
And it would be where I would be forever. Stuck. You're not thinking like an entrepreneur. You're seeing. I get all that, but I don't have a house. I want my own house. I want my You're own moving house. Into a rental because for 6 months because I don't want to stay out there in the winters. And I don't want to live in an RV. Well, that's fine.
So, this is kind of edited a little bit, but you guys, when she said, I want my own house, if you don't watch the edited version where it moves around a lot, she's like, I want my own house. And I'm like, ooh, she is mad. Kody, you better back down because Janelle's about to bite. Like, shut up. She wants her own daggum house. Deal with it, because she was ticked off right then when she said that. And he says, well, I don't want to live in an RV. And she even says, like, well, fine. Like, we can stay in town until we build on the property. Like, if that's what you want to do, if you don't want to go back out to the RV, which, from my understanding, he didn't really stay in the RV with her that much, here and there every once in a while. But she is trying to work with him, like, okay, if you don't want to stay in the RV, then the apartment that I'm renting, like, we can stay in town until we decide to build. if that's what you want to do. In a confessional, Janelle says, dude, you have a house. You can go home and stay in the house with Robin anytime, but I have no house. We've been in Flagstaff 4 years. I haven't had a house. Meri in a confessional says that the family usually bands together to get what they need, like for each person. Like when it comes to getting houses, she's like, we usually do band together. Meri even says, when I sold my house in Vegas, the money that I got from that, I gave to Robin to buy her house, which is kind of wild because Robin's house was almost $1 million home, from my understanding. If memory serves me correctly, Robin's home was almost $1 million home. And I feel like, so here she's saying, my house in Vegas, sold it. What I made off of it went to buy Robin's house. While Meri's renting, Janelle, she had to rent. Now she's living in an RV. But Robin's over there sitting in $1 million home. So it doesn't really seem too fair when you got one wife living in this big house and the money that was used to buy it was from another woman's house being sold, but that woman is renting. It does seem a little unfair, in my opinion. If they were all living in purchased homes at this point, 4 years later, if they had made sure everyone had a purchased home, or if they were all renting while they wait to pay off Cody Pass to build, that would make a lot more sense. Rather than one living in almost $1 million home. Meri slips up talking here and nobody's catching on. If Robin would send those adult kids off, she could have a much smaller house with 2 kids. I heard Robin House has a guest house too. I don't see one, but who knows? Meri then says, I don't mind renting. I'm sure you don't, Meri, because you want to do whatever pleases Cody. Cody in a confessional says that Janelle isn't trying to work with him to solve the problem, so therefore she can solve the problem on her own. That's what he says. He's like, she's not trying to work with me to solve this problem, so she can solve it on her own. And I'm like, but I think she is. I think she is trying to solve the problem. She's going into town for the winter because she's realized living in the RV during the wintertime is just not feasible for them. It's going to be way too difficult. And she's saying, listen, if you don't want to go back out to the RV after the wintertime, we can stay in town. But I'm not buying Christine's house. Compromise. It's called compromise. She don't want to buy Christine's house. You don't want to live in the RV. Compromise and just stay in town. So the next weekend, Christine is coming into town. She's got a few things left in her garage to get. So she actually drops Truly off. Well, Janelle comes and picks Truly up. And Truly is going to stay the night with Janelle in the RV while Christine is getting the last little bit of their things out of the garage. Now, I didn't think about this, but one of my friends from YouTube texted me and was like, why didn't Truly stay with Cody? Like, this is the first weekend they're coming in after moving. You would think Cody would have been like, hey, since y'all are coming in, can you stay the night with me? But she didn't. And I don't even think she went over there. There was no discussion of her even going to see Cody that first weekend they went in. But instead, she went and she stayed with Janelle, where she seemed very comfortable with Janelle. And remember, Christine has talked about how she is not comfortable enough to stay at Cody and Robin's house. So she's not comfortable enough to stay with her dad and her other mom, but she is comfortable enough to stay with one of the other moms, Janelle. Just makes me wonder why. Like, why is she super comfortable with Janelle and can stay with Janelle without her mom, but can't stay with her dad and Robin? I don't know. Anyways, so she stays with Janelle in the RV. Janelle wanted to make sure that Truly had a really good time. So they sat outside. They grilled hot dogs. They had s'mores. She bought like some really good like sugary cereal the next morning. She's like, things I don't normally buy. I bought for Truly because I wanted her to have a good time. They grilled out outside. They did stargazing because Janelle's really into stargazing. Um, One thing that I realized about Truly is she loves her marshmallows burnt. So do I. If I'm going to eat a s'more, I love to burn the entire outside of my marshmallow till it's black and then squeeze it because the inside is like runny. It is so good. So I noticed that about Truly as well. Truly does have a good time at Janelle's house. She talks about the things that they did and she has a good time. Christine has another offer on the house. She says it looks solid, so she has to get everything out. As she is there, she does say that Robin and her kids drove by. And she said when they drove by, they stopped, rolled the window down, and waved. And she waved back. It said it kind of gives her hope that that things will be okay. Them stopping and waving and kind of gives her that she's optimistic that things will be okay between them. But she just don't know. She said her and Janelle are great. Every time she goes back to town, they get together. She feels that their relationship is actually easier removing that label sister wives and just being friends. Janelle says that Christine has always been the heart of the family. Yeah, she says that Christine has always been at the heart of the family. She said that she and Meri has had problems that they've had to work out, and that there's a lot of problems with Robin. This is what she said. She says Christine has always really been the heart of the family, basically. Then she said, me and Meri, we've had problems that we've had to work out over the years, and there's been a lot of problems with Robin. But with Christine, I truly felt that she was the definition of a sister wife. And I'm like, oh, a lot of problems with Robin. Spill the tea, sis. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know the tea. What's the problems? Christine in a confessional says that she knows that her and Janelle will be okay. That they're going to be fine. But her, Robin, and Meri, she don't really think they will seek each other out for a relationship. They will be amicable when they see each other, but that might be it. Um, After that, Janelle asked Cody to come out to the RV because she wants to show him something. So she actually has the plans for her house. Um, she wants to build within a year, so she's got the plans all drawn out, and she's super excited to show them to Cody. She's taken some of the things that Cody's wanted, like things that he's requested in regards of the house, and made sure they were implemented in the building of the house. Like he wanted the roof to have like a T shape because the house is going to be kind of smaller. Having that T shape kind of open it up to make it look a little bit bigger. They're doing everything they can to kind of cut costs down. It's not going to be a big house. She only has one child left in the home with her. So it's going to be a 2-bedroom house. The bigger room will be, so this is the plan for the house. So she's got the whole bottom is going to be a garage. The entire bottom is a garage. So the garage to the right, from my understanding, could potentially be the garage where they park the RV. Because she did talk about how one of them was going to be longer for the RV. The other two wouldn't fit the RV. So that one on the right, I think, is going to be the one for the RV. So the other two would be for like his truck, Janelle's car. And then you have the side door over there where you can go in and out if you aren't pulling a vehicle underneath the garage and you're already inside to the stairwell. But if you're just outside gardening or something, in and out that door to a staircase that takes you to the top level. The top level is the actual house. There's balconies off to the side on each side of the house, but up there it's going to be, a larger living quarter, and then their bedrooms are kind of more on the smaller end, from my understanding. I like it. She's excited to talk to him about this. She's excited to show him these plans. Like, all we got to do is like get this property paid off, and then we can start building. So, he basically, I don't understand this, but after she shows him the plans, he picks them up and rolls them up, and he's like, "Are you going to show your sister wives? Basically, are you going to show, Meri and Robin?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, I think I'm going to show them. I would think they would want to see, so I want to show them." He then says something about not building until they do a subdivision, and this seems to upset Janelle. In a confessional, Janelle says that it's just astounding how Kody wants to blame her for everything. She says it's been a really tough summer with everything going on, and Kody just wants to blame her for everything. They go back to talking about how the property would need to be divided. Now, especially since Christine is not like going to live there, like, is this going to change the way the property is divided? Janelle says that things have changed and they need to figure out how that could affect the layout of the land. Kody tells Janelle that he still wants the land to have 5 lots. Janelle pretty much really doesn't care. She's like, "I really don't care. I just want my little piece so I can start building soon. I don't care what anybody else wants to do with the land. I don't care if they want to switch things around, but I want my piece of the land." Kody then, in a clip, talks about the evolution of the family, basically. This is kind of sad, not going to lie. So, basically, he says, when all of the kids were younger, the family was together for everything. They were super close. They did everything together. They did holidays together. They were a super close family. But as the kids got older and moved off, started having kids, then the wives, the kids weren't coming in for holidays because they were pregnant or they just had a baby. So they would miss out on holidays due to those things. And then some of the wives would be like, "Well, I want to go see, McKelty. I want to go spend Thanksgiving with McKelty because she just had a baby and, I don't want her spending the holidays alone and she really can't travel now." So once the kids got older and moved away from home, that resulted in holidays being a lot different. Whereas they all used to be together for every holiday, now they're not. And not only are the kids not coming in, but some of the moms are leaving to go spend the holidays with their kids. And Kody says it's a drastic change that's left him lonely. That is kind of sad to think about. Oh, cute pics, Kody. Okay, now back at the RV, they decide they need to have a meeting with the other wives to figure out the property. Also, they mention, like, we also need to figure out if Meri still wants to build on the property. Like, we don't know where her head is at. Is she still going to build on the property? Is she not going to build on the property? We don't know, but we need to find out, right? So, in a confessional, Meri says she is good with her part of the property. That there was some discussion at one point where she was upset about, the tree line. I don't know. She wanted the tree line or she didn't want the tree line. Then somebody else got the tree line and she was upset. She's like, "But I'm good with my part of the property now." After Kody left Janelle's, we see him in a confessional say that they are just coming off this COVID where Janelle basically didn't listen to him and disrespected him. Like, through the rules of COVID, didn't pay him any attention in the way he felt about COVID. It was completely disrespectful to him during COVID. He says he's not going to break his back for her after she pretty much went against him so much during COVID. He says Janelle needs someone that's going to break their back for her to get this project done. And that's not where I'm at right now. He went on to say that men don't feel love from women that don't respect them. He feels like Janelle struggles to respect him. He then says, "If you don't respect me, don't bother with the love. It just don't work that way." That is a big thing with men. Like, I swear Sean kind of gets this way as well. Like, if he feels like, I don't know, like, if we have a discussion about something and I want something done one way and he wants something done this way, he's like, "Well, you don't respect my opinion. You don't respect the way I want this." And I'm like, that's not, just because we disagree doesn't mean I don't respect it. I do respect it. I respect what you're saying, but I disagree with it. That's been something we've had to work on. But I do think that's something with men. If they view something as disrespect, they almost take it as like, "Well, you must not love them." That's just not the case. That's just not the case. I mean, sometimes, people get in crappy moods. They may be a little disrespectful. Doesn't take away, how much they love their spouse. But he basically says If you're not here to respect me, don't bother with the love. Janelle needs someone that's going to break their back with this project. It ain't going to be me. And I'm like, I can't wait for the day that she's like, deuces, Kody, I don't need you. Ah! You know what I'm saying? I probably shouldn't have done that. Deuces, Kody, I don't need you. Back at Christine's, she is loading up the last bit of her things. Trigger warning. And she has a snowblower, something that was not needed before, I guess. But now she needs a snowblower. And he's like, we've never had a need for a snowblower. And she's like, I know, and I'm so excited that I need a snowblower. Here's the deal. So she has this little U-Haul truck, right? She has all these boxes that Kody like kind of shakes a few of them around, and they don't feel super heavy. They're very like, almost like they have just a couple of things in them, right? So Christine's like, let's put the snowblower in first. So the weight of the snowblower is towards the front of the U-Haul. That way all the boxes can be in the back and they are not as heavy, right? He's like, no. The boxes actually, they're not as heavy as the snowblower. It's the density that matters, and they're more dense than the snowblower. So we need the boxes in the front because the snowblower is more dense. I don't even know. It confused me, and I was like, what is he talking about here? Like, what? To me, it would make perfect sense. And the way that he explains it does make a little bit of sense, because he's like, if you put the majority of the weight in the back, the weight will be on the back of the trailer, which could cause it to maybe sway a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. If all the weight is in the back, it could, have the trailer maybe like this. All the weight's not being dispersed evenly if it's more on the back, and that might cause problems with the front of the trailer. I do get that. However, it definitely seemed like the snowblower was heavier. So it would go to the front and the boxes be in the back, which is what Christine wanted. He said, while the snowblower looked super heavy, it was not as dense as the boxes. So he felt all the boxes needed to be in the front and the snowblower needed to be in the back. Christine's like, I don't want that, because all I need help with is him loading the snowblower. I don't want him to have to stay here and help me load all the boxes, because I don't want to be around him that long, frankly. So let's get the snowblower in. I can do the boxes. You don't have to stay here, So she kept saying, well, are you going to help me load the boxes? Thinking that if she said that, he would be like, okay, yeah, never mind. I don't want to do that. So let's just load the snowblower so I can get out of here. But he wasn't going to do that at first. He's like, yeah, I'll help you with the boxes. And he starts picking the boxes up. Finally, she's like, listen, we're going to do things my way. I need certain things done this way. Those boxes need to go in my car. This is just the way that I need it done. We need to load the snowblower. And he's like, all right, fine. And you could tell that irritated him. In a confessional, he even said that bothered him to his core that she put her foot down. And was like, you're going to load the daggum snowblower because this is my house. This is my U-Haul. These are my things. And that's the way that I want it done. So you can load the snowblower. And he, in a confessional, was like, I could have just told her, I don't even have to be here helping you. I'm like, I don't understand it's about the density, not what is heavier. I don't know. So we're about to see, and I don't know if this clips it out differently, but where she really is like, no, Kody, I want it done this way. Right there. She's like, we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it my way, Kody. I need this there. I need that there. And he's like, all right, whatever, fine. I'll load the snowblower. I'll load the snowblower first. Kind of struggles to load the snowblower. And he's mad. He's mad about it. In a confessional, Kody says that Christine doesn't want to listen to good advice, so I'm just going to cram it all in there and get it done. She has proven she is independent now, and it bothers me to my core. He says that normally he would be the one in charge, but she has made it clear that she is over this, and he almost wants to tell her, I don't have to help you at all. He says he is struggling really hard to get this done. After they get it done, Christine wastes no time, like, jumping in the car and being like, all right, Kody, thank you, I'm out. Also, I think this was the clip where she really didn't want to hug her dad. He was like, give me a hug. And she was like, He's like, give me a real hug. And she's like, I don't know. She does seem really standoffish when it comes to Kody. Maybe it's the way she's seen Kody not be there for her mom. Maybe it's the way, like, she's seen Kody not be there for her and her sister. So maybe that's why she's a little standoffish with him. I'm not sure. But he had to be like a real hug, you know? So yeah, she wastes no time being like, all right, Kody, peace out. We're going. She jumps in the car, takes off, and he throws some of the garbage away, and they pull off, and he walks to the end of the road and watches them leave. In a confessional, he says that he is at a place where he doesn't know if he is disappointed that she is leaving or relieved that she is leaving. I'm like, but I thought you just wanted to tell her that you loved her. I thought you were so heartbroken. Then he brings up how in the past, Christine has called him a coward. He's like, she's talked bad about me. She called me a coward once. And I'm like, yes, she did. On camera. I remember that. She called me a coward. He says, maybe I should have just told her that I didn't like her. I'm like, okay, so now you don't like her and now you're relieved. Doesn't make sense with you saying, I wished I would have just told her that I loved her. Whatever. He says, but what I didn't do was I didn't quit. He then says that he hopes that once the anger settles, that he feels differently, but he hopes that he's not heartbroken. He does say, like, one thing I didn't do was I didn't quit. Okay, whatever. And that he hopes that he doesn't feel heartbroken once the anger settles. But I'm like, if you really loved her and this was really upsetting to you, you would feel heartbreak. Even if you did feel anger, you would be heartbroken as well. You know, the fact that he's like, oh, I hope I don't feel it later, tells me, like, if you're not feeling it now and you haven't been feeling it these past few weeks, you're probably not gonna feel it. So that's the end of that episode. The next episode. Oh, hold on. All right, the next episode. We'll listen to this real quick. I can't wait for the next episode. This one's going to be interesting.
Sister-wise, you and I acting like we weren't a married couple for most of our marriages. Okay, I'm spitting mad now. Maybe this is not a good fit. Maybe this doesn't work. It feels like we're unraveling. I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing here? I have somebody in my life who is fundamentally loyal to me. I'm not going to become Robin. We were following all the protocols, but still somehow, oh my gosh. So I need to see Robin's not improving. She's not improving. I think that I was sitting there watching Robin learn these shoes with lift.
So that's going to be an interesting one where, rumor has it Janelle's left. Rumor has it Janelle left. I'm wondering if we are going to get to see that, before the season ends, where she makes that decision. You know what? I'm out. I'm out. I don't need this. I don't need the BS. I don't need you. Especially for him to sit there and be like, I have someone who is fundamentally loyal to me. Robin. Robin's the teacher's pet, basically. You know how you have, like, kids that are good, but they're just not over there, brown nosing the teacher, but they're good. That's Janelle. She's good. She does whatever. She's not out there wilding out, being catfished online. She's tending to her own little business. She's good. She's not causing no problems. But Robin's brown nosing him, brown nosing. Robin Brown. Yeah, she's brown nosing. So she's like the teacher's pet. And I don't see anything that Janelle's really doing wrong. But because she's not brown nosing the heck out of him, she's not fundamentally loyal to him. So she's like, I'm not going to become Robin. Sorry. I'm like, no, Janelle, please don't. Your brows are much better than hers. Don't become Robin. Speaking of brows, one of my friends sent me the brow stamp. You guys seen it on TikTok? You just hold the stencil up to it and you dot it with that thing. And that's what I've been using for the past few days. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but anyways, I enjoyed this episode. Love seeing Christine like assert her dominance over Kody when she's moving. She's like, listen, I appreciate you coming to help me move the snowblower. That's all I need you to help me do. Can you just move the darn thing? We're going to pack things in that U-Haul the way I say. Okay? I've listened to you. I've taken directions from you long enough. It's my way or the highway, you know? So I loved seeing her. You know, she was sad, obviously, to leave, but you could tell she's just so happy to leave as well. Loved this episode. Janelle moved in with Garrison a while back after she moved into town for the winter. I'm not sure if his home was in Flagstaff. I don't know, but I know we see her a lot with Christine on social media. So thank you, all apologies. Is it easy to do? Yeah. I might actually maybe tonight I'll do a hangout and I'll show you guys how I do them. The preview is where I felt Kody was trying to beat Janelle to the breakup. Maybe so. Wait, you found some at the Dollar Tree? No way. One of my friends sent me one. I think she got her one and I got me one. So tonight, if I do a hangout stream, that's what we'll do. So if you guys see that I'm live tonight and you want to see me, I'll wipe these off and I'll redo them online. That's going to work. Go back to work. Have a good day at work. Thank you for hanging out with us today as we did our recap. But this episode was interesting. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode. Can't wait for that. I really hope we see Janelle make a decision. Like, you know what? I don't need this. Look at my bestie over there living her best life, doing the dang thing. I'm going to go do the dang thing with her. So that's what I hope we see next week's episode. I made Christine's noodle recipe from her chicken soup. My friend just messaged me saying she made a recipe from a noodle recipe. I wonder if it was that one. I just use my trusty brow powder. Yeah, I mean mine are tattooed on, but they're not. There's too much of a gap. Like when I first got them done, I just would go live and do my videos just the exact way the artist did them. And people was like, your brows are a little too far apart. You need to bring them in just a little bit. So I started having to bring them in. But I still have a good base to go off of because she did them really good. They just needed to be brought in a little bit. However, one of my brows, it's actually not a brow. From what my tattoo artist said, or the lady that did my eyes, she said everybody has one eye that kind of hangs just a little bit lower than the other one. So for me, I think it's this one. I think this is the brow that's a little bit droopier than this one, which makes your brow a little bit droopier than this one. So I do have this brow kind of is a little bit more droopy. So I have to try to even that out. But anyways, I have to kind of really conceal right here because this one kind of goes down a little bit more. But you guys leave me your thought in the comment section below about this episode. I was loving this episode, except with Kody and the way that he was treating Janelle. Hey, seeing Janelle sad that she's losing her best friend. I also feel like Janelle is really in a place right now where she's like, I'm in this family with people that I don't even feel like me. And I don't know if I like them. You know, well, I got my bestie that I feel like we are great together. And I don't know what to do. So I hope, like I said, I hope next week we see her start to make that decision to jet out off into the sunset with Christine and then live their best life. We're going to be doing the recap for that one next Monday as well. So, yeah, you guys, let me know your thoughts about this episode. Leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you guys give this video a huge thumbs up. I'm not sure how the ending of this is going to be because I gotta end it on over here. So hopefully it doesn't cut off too early. But yeah, you guys let me your thoughts in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. We're going to be doing a few more live streams today. Also, we are waiting for the test results to come back to verify if those were in fact Quentin Simon's remains on the landfill. I mean, the police department, Chief Atlee seems to believe that they are. So I think that's what is going to come back. But we are waiting to hear from that, to hear word to confirm. So I've been waiting on that all day. As soon as that comes out, we'll hop on here and let you guys know. But I do have several live streams planned today. So join me back here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notification bell is set to all so you are notified of each time I go live. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps in the algorithm if you give it a thumbs up. And comment something in the comment section, even if it's just a heart, even if it's just a thumbs up. One thing, it doesn't matter. A comment helps. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.